What's up, y'all? It's Priscilla Block. Y'all be sure to check out Real Country Jukebox.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Real Country Jukebox Podcast. This is episode number 17. And as you heard at the top of the program there, Priscilla Block was kind enough to give us a shout out for the podcast and all that good stuff as we saw her last week while me and him were both in Nashville for a few days. And that's what today's topic is going to be about. We don't really have a list or a top 10 or anything like that. We just want to talk to y'all about Nashville and about our trip and just tell you some stories and just talk about our trip and hope y'all enjoy what we did and maybe get some tips.
Yeah, it was a great time, and I can't wait to go back. I'm ready to go back right now.
Let's go.
But anyway, I guess we can start on day one if you want to start with some of your stories from day one.
Okay, and we both flew in. I flew in on Saturday and came back Tuesday evening after Craig Campbell's cornhole tournament. He came in a day after me and stayed. He came in on Sunday, and him and his wife stayed until Wednesday. So we were a day apart on everything, so we got to experience a few different things. We mostly hung out together and did stuff, but we got to experience some different things. I'll start the trip off. Saturday we got there and we got relaxed and everything, and our favorite place to go is the Nashville Palace. It's pretty solid on 80s and 90s country music, just real solid principal country music. So we like to go out there. Plus it's not like being in a club. It's very large and spread out. They got a stage. They got really good food. It's just like hanging out in a really good atmosphere. So anyway, we get out there and we're listening to the music. Didn't recognize anybody on the bill or anything, and a lot of times you don't, but it's good. Getting there, we order some food and everything, and I've got a habit when I'm in town of I like to get on Facebook or Instagram Messenger. In this particular instance, it was Instagram Messenger, and I don't know how many of y'all remember the band Highway 101. They were huge in the 80s, and they had a lead singer by the name of Paulette Carlson. She left the group, and in came Nikki Nelson later on. But anyway, as I was sitting there and I'm messaging different people, 99 times out of 100, if you message somebody that's got a name to them at all, they're going to look at this and think, either they got their thing set to notification where they only answer you or get your email or whatever if they know you. But every now and then you'll get a four-leaf clover and you'll hit somebody up that is willing to have a conversation with you. And Paulette Carlson, the lead singer of Highway 101, I had messaged her before when we were in town and had a communication with her, so that was kind of cool. So anyway, as I'm sitting there, I'm messaging her and asking her if she's playing anywhere in town, that sort of thing, and she gets back with me, and she's playing the day after I'm gone, so that was a lost cause. But in a strange turn of events, there's a young lady on stage singing, and she's singing. She sounds really, really good. I'm not recognizing her or nothing like that. And all of a sudden, she goes into this dialogue about how years ago she did a song with Tammy Wynette, and they recorded some stuff together. And light bulb went off on me, and I'm thinking, not just anybody walks around talking about, hey, I recorded a duet with Tammy Wynette, or even had that opportunity. So my mind got to wondering a little bit, and being Highway 101, having that conversation with Paulette Carlson was already on my brain. When she mentioned that, I started looking up duets with Tammy Wynette and this, that, and the other, and come to find out, it was Nikki Nelson on stage, who was the lead singer of Highway 101 when Paulette Carlson left. Weird thing to talk to both front runners of Highway 101 in the same 30 minutes, sitting in the same chair.
That's so coincidental, man.
It is. So, I'm sitting there, I'm trying to play it cool, and as I walked by one time to step out for a little bit, I mentioned something to her, and still didn't let on that I knew who she was. Some people in the bar may have already known who she was. So as I'm sitting there and everything's ruminating and everything, and she stops right before a band break. Now, when she joined Highway 101, their big song was Bing Bang Boom. That was their big song. And sure enough, my brother yells out Bing Bang Boom, and she stops right in the middle of it. And she thought, oh my goodness, what in the world? Are we related? Kind of half joking, half serious. And anyway, come to find out, we made a little bit of conversation with her. She came up to us after the set and come and talked to us for a little bit. And anyway, had a great conversation. She was glad people were still listening to her music. She gave me her contact information and sent me some music that she had done recently outside of Highway 101. And it was just a really cool ordeal to see somebody like that you hadn't heard or seen from. She still sounds great. Heard or seen from in so many years, kind of just beating around Nashville doing music.
Yeah, that is awesome, man. That was a cool story. And you know, when I heard you tell that story after we got there, I heard you talk about that you had talked to both of them at the exact same time. I just thought that's so coincidental.
It was wild, man.
That is crazy. That's real crazy. The first day I got there, we went to go eat at this wild game type place that was pretty cool. I can't remember the name, but you might.
Caney Fork.
Caney Fork, yeah. They had like gator, elk, all that cool stuff. We got the gator and ribeye was very good. And the whole atmosphere of that place was a place that I could eat at every day. It was real cool.
Really cool spot. And as many years I've been going to Nashville and seeing the place, I just never tried it. Usually the people that's with us is always, we got to try that because it's right by where we stay. And we never did. And I'm glad we finally did because, like you said, they got a lot of wild game like alligator and bear.
I don't
elk.
think they had bear, but they did have elk.
Yeah, so stuff like that. It's just, and I went out on a limb in this place and really, being I'd never had any of that stuff, I went out on a limb and got steak. But I have a hard time saying no to steak. So it's okay.
Yeah. I had to get steak too, but I love most all wild. I love all food but Miracle Whip.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, if something's got Miracle Whip on it, I'm not eating it. But about anything else, I love. So.
Yeah, it's a miracle that people that eat that are still alive.
Yeah.
But I will say this: if you're ever in the Nashville area and you're in the Opryland area, that's where this is at, over in the Opryland area by the Opry, obviously. Go to Caney Fork and give it a shot. The scenery inside is really cool too. A lot of wild game and stuff like that. It's like being in Bass Pro Shop, except you got food.
Oh yeah. And then the next night we went back to the Palace. Had a good time. That was our first night there after we left that place. But the very next day, the cool thing was we went to the Grindstone Cowboy. That was an awesome place. You know, because I really thought like, well, it's cool that there's a coffee shop that's not like Starbucks or whatever. I love supporting, you know, more
local establishments.
But when I got there and found out they had Reuben sandwiches and you know, like huge sandwiches that would fill you up, I was like, man, this is all right here.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I didn't even get a coffee. I split one with Stacy, or I finished hers. But the food there was awesome. It was a great environment, and there's also a lot of big names that play there too. I wasn't aware of any of that until I went.
Yeah. And that's, for those that don't know, the Grindstone Cowboy, that's Craig Campbell's place. He owns and operates. And it's about 45 minutes outside of Nashville in a little town called Eagleville. So, and they're getting ready to open, it's doing good because they're getting ready to open up one in Florida too. So that's a pretty big deal.
That's amazing.
It's very, you think of just a coffee house, not that there's anything wrong with that because I could live off that. But really high quality breakfast, high quality lunch. And every now and then, like he's saying, they'll have live entertainment, some decent names that will play, and they'll stay open that night.
Yeah, that was cool. And then that same night, we went out on Broadway, and we went behind the Ryman and ran into Megan Maroney, which is really cool.
Yeah.
I love her songs, and she's awesome, but I had no idea she would be as cool in real life as she was.
Super sweet girl.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, she kind of stopped, really, you know, as soon as we mentioned it.
Because you said, is that Megan Maroney?
Yeah.
I think that's Megan Maroney, whatever it was you said,
And she stopped and was willing to talk to us and hang out and stuff. I thought that was pretty cool.
Very cool, yeah.
Yeah. And I love going into all those bars like Aldean's and Kid Rock's and Alan Jackson's,
right,
stuff like that.
Right.
So yeah, it was a good time, man. And trying to think if we did anything else that same day. I don't think so, other than going back to the Palace, because that
day. What did we do?
That's just a good spot to hang out at.
It was, and that was the whole Megan Maroney thing was just so wild too. Just, it wasn't, you know, bumping into a meet and greet or hearing they were playing somewhere. It's just passing her on the street. Yeah, which is a really cool deal.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I believe it was Darius Rucker was playing like a charity event or something.
He was, yeah, and she was part of that.
Yeah. Then the next day was the cornhole tournament, correct?
Yeah, Tuesday was the event we mainly went for. I mean, we went to just enjoy Nashville because it can never get old. But yeah, we went to Craig Campbell's celebrity cornhole tournament to raise money for cancer.
Yeah, man, the cornhole tournament was awesome too. It was a fun time, and everyone there was super friendly. They were cool, took time to talk to you and hang out. And James had met several of these people before because they go quite often, but it was mine and Stacy's first time meeting Craig and Mindy, who, if you're listening to this, we appreciate the invite. We really enjoyed it. Definitely enjoyed it, had a good time. And we talked to Jared Newman, and it was cool. It was cool to talk to Keith Whitley's son.
Yeah, Jesse Keith Whitley showed up to, not as an artist this time, but showed up to, bid to play with somebody and to support and give money.
Yeah, that was cool. And Priscilla Block, she was really cool. I mean, there was James Otto, he was cool.
Charles Eston was there.
Yeah.
Some of you know him as Ward Cameron from the Outer Banks. Awesome guy.
Yeah, the whole thing was just a blast, man.
It was a really good time.
Yeah, I hope to go back again sometime, that's for sure. Then that night we went to the Grand Ole Opry, and it was awesome because I've been to the Opry one time before, and when I went, I enjoyed it, and they had a great lineup then, but this time I soaked it in so much more, and I think just being there right off the bat made it so much more special than regardless of who was performing.
Right.
But start off, it was Carrie Underwood, and my favorite song that she sung was Something in the Water. And I love anytime a country music singer, in other words, I would rather them sing their country songs that are about Jesus than hear them actually sing a gospel song. I love gospel music, but to me there's just something about when a country artist makes a song about Jesus and ends up on country radio. I just love that.
Yeah, that's right. Nothing better.
Of the songs that she done, Something in the Water was my favorite. The other two are kind of, a lot of people like them. I weren't that keen on them, but it introduced me to some more people that, I'll be honest with you, I didn't know. Maybe I should have, since I'm part of the country music podcast, but I didn't know Riders of the Sky.
Yeah, they've been around a long time. Never mainstream or anything like that, but they've been around and doing music for very talented guys if you like that style.
They were very good, and to be that old, they were very energetic.
Yeah.
And they were hilarious too. Like, they even made references to like going to the Grammys and saying that they're like, yeah, all these big names were there. Beyonce, the guy that played the I can't remember what instrument he was playing, but one of the main players was like, he was like, I talked to Eminem for 10 minutes. He said, he was like, we're the only ones there we had never heard of.
There's a duet we're waiting for to happen. Riders in the Sky and Eminem.
I mean, it was hilarious. He was like, I tried to tell him that, he can say what he wants to, but I'm the real Slim Shady. And they're hilarious.
Yeah, they got a lot of comedy in their act too.
Everything they did was comedy. And then Bill Anderson was there. And
Whispering Bill.
Yeah, and he sung a couple great songs, and they had that real old school sound.
Yeah.
And told some stories.
A lot of piano and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Lucas Nelson was there. He done 2 songs with a basic flat top guitar, and they were good. He's got an acquired sound though. He sounds just like his dad, who has an acquired sound. Really, a lot of people either love him or hate him.
That's right.
And but he did do that with Lainey Wilson, and I'm gonna spend the most time talking about Lainey Wilson because me and James actually seen Lainey Wilson at a concert before, and I'm not gonna tell what he was doing during her set, but I tell you what I was doing. And she was the mid card between Haley Withers and John Party, and we had just met Haley, so we were so amped up talking about meeting her that we kind of missed Lainey's whole set.
We did. I mean, we could hear her and we glanced up a few times, but for the most part we were on cloud 9 from meeting Haley, and we knew Lainey was big and we liked her and everything, but we just weren't there for that.
Yeah, and at the time, to be honest with you, Lainey, she wasn't putting out, they didn't know about her at the time like they do now, she had all the songs she had, so we didn't know her and she weren't that popular. But man, now I'm so glad I had the opportunity to see her in concert, because since that previous concert we went to, I downloaded all her albums. I like her songs, and she's got songs that I love. So when I saw her this time, it's like they gave her as much time as she wanted. It seems like she sung some of her main songs, and one that I love the most is Those Boots, a song that her and Trent Thomason, I think, wrote for her dad. It's a true story. She wrote it for her dad, and I love it. It's really good. And she's just a vocal powerhouse, man.
She is, man.
And I hate so bad that I kind of blew her off that first concert.
Well, now you've seen her.
Yes,
so,
and she did excellent.
And she has exploded. So, I mean, there'll be many opportunities to see her at many events.
Yep, and she is awesome, and very I don't mean this derogatory toward newer artists, especially toward newer female artists, but one thing that attracted me so much to Hailey Whitters is I feel like Hailey lives what she sings. I mean, yeah, lives
Certainly.
what she sings, and she comes off as a real country girl. Well, Lainey does too.
She does.
I mean, and that voice she's got, she's just phenomenal.
It's powerful. It's country and it's powerful.
And got her own style with the hat and the bell bottoms
Yep.
and all that stuff.
Yep.
She's
branded herself.
Yeah, she is phenomenal, and I can't wait to hear it. I'd go see her headline something.
Yeah, very authentic. I mean, and that's what you got to do to make it these days. You got to have talent for one, but you need to bring something to the table everybody else ain't bringing, and she's doing that.
Yeah, for sure. And then the last cool thing I'll mention is Josh Turner performed up there, and he's another one that loves to bring Jesus into the country music stream. I love that. You know, of course, he finished with Long Black Train, but he told a lot of stories, and Randy Travis actually presented him with a plaque of some sort. I can't remember exactly what it was for. I think it might have been the 20-year anniversary of Long Black Train or something. I can't remember. I can't remember exactly. Maybe when we do the Father's Day podcast in a couple days, I can fill y'all in on exactly what the plaque was for. I have to go back and look through my pictures, but yeah, that was awesome. And Josh Turner also did his cover of Country State of Mind by Hank Williams Jr., and that was the best thing he done to me.
And I heard that.
So
I didn't go to the Opry. Obviously, I left that day. I didn't get to enjoy that like they did live, because they enjoyed it more than I did because it was live. But I did watch the Opry Live replay from Tuesday night that was televised on Circle TV, and I didn't see everything he saw, but I saw what he was talking about. That is an incredible. Josh Turner does a really good job of that.
Yeah, and he told some stories too. For example, he told there was one he talked about that, and I could be a little off with years and stuff, but I'm pretty sure he said he was 17 years old, starting to sing in church, didn't know how to play the guitar, and his granddad told him, you know, it would help if you did play the guitar. That way, these songs that you sing that are good don't sound like poems. You can put some music to them. So he said he did that, and he learned that pretty well. And one day, I don't know if they were producers or just a local band or whatever, but someone came to his church, and the preacher was like, "Hey, I want you to hear this boy sing." And he sung them Long Black Train, and it weren't long after that he took off with it. So,
I mean, he did.
Yep. And what a cool message that you can put into a song, like with all the references, you know, to try to I mean, it's a phenomenal song. I think that anytime that you can bring something like that into the mainstream, like on radio, where people get to hear that message that may not have known.
That's right. They may not hear it otherwise. Yeah.
Yep. So, but anyway, that's about it, man. Oh, the Gaylord Opryland Hotel. It was the first time we'd ever been to that.
I could save money to the day I die, and I wouldn't be able to afford to stay there. But what an immaculate! If you've never been to Nashville and went to the Gaylord Opryland Hotel, it's basically like you're walking to the Emerald City. It's like basically like walking around a city. It's absolutely amazing. Tell them about it.
Yeah, we actually took a boat ride through there.
Yeah, that's how big it is.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like probably 18-footer with a trolling motor. Like it is wild, and it was like a 10-minute tour. That there's a river in the middle of it. It is huge.
Yeah, I don't know what people do for a living that get to stay there, but good for them.
You ain't lying. It is cool. But that's about all I have. I know it was a fun week, and I can't wait to go back.
I can't either. And we go out to dinner a lot together, and we go to baseball games together and stuff like that. But it was cool to, much as he loves country music, I love country music, and everybody that went with us loves country music. It was cool to experience that all together.
Oh yeah.
You know, and do a couple podcasts. We were there and just enjoy Nashville. Weather was perfect. I don't think we saw a drop of rain, did we?
No.
So everything was just really, really good. We're both ready to go back.
Yeah, and another thing too, I got to be clear on this, because I've only been in Nashville twice, but both times I went to the Opry, and again, I'll say this: I would skip out on some big things that a group was doing if it meant me going to the Opry even alone. Like, it was that great. And I would go again. I really believe even if the lineup was people that I didn't even care about seeing, I'd go just to be there.
Yeah. A bad day at the Opry is better than a good day a lot of places.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's a whole different feeling, and you can tell that all the artists that were there felt, even like, and I'm just using these people because they're more established with years under the belt. Josh Turner and Carrie Underwood both still felt very humbled to be playing there.
That says a lot.
So,
am I right that the Oak Ridge Boys were on there?
Gosh, man, I knew I was forgetting someone. Yeah, the Oak Ridge Boys finished it.
Okay, I got it. Did they do Elvira? Because I know
did.
Your wife was screaming for it.
Yeah, they did. They done that, and the My Baby's American Made song or whatever. And one of them had to even get help from some of the other ones to get out there. And they still, once they got out there and got stationary, they really put it down just like it was in the 80s. I'm not a huge Oak Ridge Boys fan, but I could imagine that was about the energy they gave back in the day. I mean, they were really into it.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So it was very good. I'm glad you brought them up. I can't believe I forgot, but
You've got to like that quartet style country music to enjoy them for the most part.
Oh yeah, and they had some of that. They threw in a lot of that comedy that the Riders in the Sky were throwing in there.
Yeah.
You know, trying to make more modern day references, like the old guys talking about the Grammys and stuff. You know,
Right.
And
Kind of that generation.
Yeah, and it was hilarious. They all did really good with it. So
Yeah.
But anyway, that's all I got for this one. And we got a Father's Day tribute coming up.
Next couple of days it should be on. Next 2-3 days we'll have it up there.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it'll be a lot like the Mother's Day one.
Yeah, just a big tribute to all the fathers out there and how thankful we are, and some songs that make us think about them and that sort of thing.
Yeah, yep. All right, y'all take care.